This is who we all are, okay? There's only one pure consciousness. It is not something that only you have, okay? Or like there's like millions of consciousness. No, there's only one consciousness, one pure consciousness. It is universal, okay? So that means that every human being that you interact with, they're not actually a human being that you perceive them as. They are actually you in a different form, in a different expression. And you are having who you truly are. Your consciousness is having infinite amount of experiences through all of us. We all are a viewpoint for this, for who we truly are. Our human character is just a viewpoint. A very important thing for you to realize is that other human beings that you interact with, they are you in a different form. And this is not something you see with your mind, with your thinking. This is something you realize as well, okay? This is a higher level of vision, higher level of perception. There's Dr. David R. Hawkins scale of consciousness. So the higher you go into your consciousness level, your perception expands, your awareness expands. So you see beyond the five senses, beyond the physical form. You see other human beings not as only human beings, but as who they truly are, which is you in a different form. So you feel a sense of oneness, you feel kindness towards them, you feel unconditional love towards them, because this is your natural state, okay? This is who you are. When you are completely rooted in yourself, in your true nature, when you are embodying your true nature, and it is not something you do, okay, by doing certain techniques or anything like that. It is something that just naturally occurs, okay? This unconditional love you feel for entire existence, for all forms, for all human beings, for all nature, for every single thing that you see, feel, touch, hear, everything. So who you truly are actually is not the human beings, is not the forms that we see in the physical world. It is not the bodies we see, the forms we see. It could, like, none of you is who you truly are, okay? It is just a temporary expression of you, of who you truly are, okay? But that is not who you truly are. Who you truly are is the space in which everything appears. You are the space in which your human body appears. Your thinking, your mind appears. Your feelings, your actions, and every single thing that appears. You are the screen in which this whole game of life is being played on. Like the TV you watch, there's so many movies, right? So there's so many lives like that. But you're none of those movies that play in the TV. You're none of the lives. You are the screen in which all movies appear. So you are the screen in which your human life is going on. You are the screen in which everything you see outside of you playing out, wars, politics, everything. Because whatever appears in the screen is temporary. What we see today is not something that we will see tomorrow. The scenes are constantly changing. And this is the nature of our world. It is not solid, okay? It is not fixed or rigid. It is temporary. It is always changing, okay? And it is alive. Matter is not solid, okay? It is 99.999% empty space, okay? So everything is constantly vibrating, and that is why it is changing. It is transient. Everything you see with your eyes, it is always changing. So you are not something that can change. You are not the human body that is born and dies. You are the space in which the human body appears and disappears or dissolves, in which all human bodies, all forms appear and disappear, in which all movies, all lives go on and dissolve back into it. So you are untouched by everything that goes on outside of you. You don't need anyone or anything outside of you, because you are the source. You are the source of every single thing, right? Because it appears from you and goes back into you. So you are the source of every single thing. You are the source of your human existence. You are not the human existence. You are the source. You are the creator of everything. Every single thing. That is who you truly are. That is what we call God, right? God is not what we are told from our childhood. God is not somewhere, up in the sky and judging us for our actions and punishing us for our bad deeds and all that. God is not that. It is a false kiddish, childish story that we were fed with, so that we do not discover our true nature. God is not outside of you. It's within you, okay? When you realize your true self, you will see that you are God. And yeah, it will never happen by thinking or by doing anything. Doing any activity, nothing like that. You have to be still and you'll realize your true self when your thinking just disappears, or at least slows down or calms down. Meditation can help you in this as well, but you know what, you really don't need to do meditation as well. Like, follow any rigid meditational structures or anything like that. You can find your true nature when you are present long enough, okay? But yeah, you can definitely do meditation and it will definitely help you. And also deep breathing, that will also help you, because when you breathe deeply, consciously, what happens is your brainwave state calms down. So you are functioning in beta waves in all the time, okay? But when you breathe deeply, what happens is your body relaxes, your brain relaxes, okay? And what happens then is you're able to kind of detach from your thinking. You're able to see your thinking instead of fully being immersed in it. Your attention is fully fixated in your thinking all the time. Even right now it might be, because we have been identifying with our thinking, with our mind, with the voice in our head for our entire lives, like I've said before, right? So this is not something that happens easily. It does take time. So right now, pure consciousness is having a human experience, which is you, which is who you think yourself to be. You think yourself to be the human, right? But no, you're not the human. The human is an experience that pure consciousness is having, that who you truly are is having. And you can experience this Maya, this illusion, this game as an experience when you rest as pure consciousness, when you detach from your human mind, your human character. Then you can fully enjoy this game, and there's no suffering then, because you do not cling to the things you see in the material world, because you realize it comes from you. You are the source of everything. So why would you cling to anything? Why would you hold on to anything to feel safe? You are eternal. You are never born. You never die. You are infinite. You know that you can never die because you're never born. You are all that is. You are eternal. You can never die. Who you truly are can never die. It is the body that dies, but the body is not what you are. The mind is not what you are. The mind changes every single day. So how can you be it? Your thinking changes every single day, doesn't it? Tell me. The kind of thinking you had when you were a child, I'm pretty sure it was very different from the type of thinking you have now. So how can you be the thinking? We all have a habit of saying, I am this, I am that. But you are not anything. You are simply, I am. Before you put anything here, be it your name, your personality, your qualities, your anything, you are this, which means you are everything. You are everything and nothing simultaneously, because everything comes from nothing. Okay, it's a very important concept to understand. This material world that we see, that we live, that we are experiencing right now, it comes from nothing, right? It comes from just emptiness. Okay, this information can be a little hard for your mind, the voice in your head, your ego. The voice in your head is ego, okay, to digest this fact, because you basically what I'm saying is you're nothing, right? So that is extremely unsafe for your ego. That is because you are literally, you now cannot hold or cling upon any single thought, because you're none of those thoughts. You cannot say that I'm Priya. You cannot say that I'm rich, because you're not. It is just a simple appearance, but you're not. Your ego has been thinking itself to be, I am intelligent, I am rich. So when we come to know our true nature, it can be extremely threatening for the ego to realize that it is nothing. It is nothing, basically. It is actually nothing, because the thinking, the voice in your head, it is simply just a bunch of thoughts. The ego, we refer to the voice in our head as ego. Some people do that, okay? A lot of spiritual teachers do that. But the thing is, the ego doesn't really exist, okay? It does not exist. It is just a bunch of thoughts that we have just given a name, okay? It does not exist truly. You've always been this, you're always will. That's also why you cannot know your true nature by your ego, by the voice in your head, because that voice in your head doesn't really exist, okay? It is fake. It is fake. The ego doesn't really exist, okay? So you can never know your true nature by your thinking, because in order to know or realize or recognize your true nature, you have to sacrifice your ego, the voice in your head. You have to detach from it. You have to disidentify from it to know that it is nothing, because it is nothing. It does not exist. And when you stay identified with the voice in your mind, with the voice in your head, with the thinking, with the mind, ego, when you stay identified as that, then you'll never be able to enjoy your life. Never. Because then you are living a very shallow and fake life. You are in a very low state of consciousness. Your awareness and perception is extremely contracted. It's way down here, and you have the potential to be here, okay? So that's a very tough life. That's why there's so much suffering, because people are identified with their ego, with the voice in their head, instead of who we truly are.